Good afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversations with the Ancients. I'm Priscilla. I'm a crone, a healer, light worker, and I feel ancient some days. Today we're going to talk about elementals, which are one of my favorite subjects. And we hope you enjoyed our show on Tuesday, which was on aliens and extra dimensionals. Another one of my favorite subjects.
I haven't found anything we don't like yet.
Not yet, anyway. But first, before we get there, let me introduce you to Heather and her cards.
Hi, I'm Heather, and I also am a crone. I'm also a card reader, a psychic medium, and I do see ghosts.
You do indeed. Well, let's go to cards.
So we'll do a reading on what it is that we should know now. Where should we be right now? And I will explain that we'll talk about him later, so you'll know all about it. Okay.
Is that Eli or Franklin? I forget.
That's Eli. Or that's who I was going to talk about.
Eli is a friend of ours.
Yes.
He's one of the first beings I
Channeled.
interdimensionals that I channeled. And he's a young fairy lad.
So I'll pick out
I don't know how old
6.
that would be in fairy age.
I don't know.
I think he's like 8 in our age.
He calls us his aunties. 2, 3, 4.
He causes his aunties what?
Aunties. We're
Yes.
his
Oh,
aunties.
he does call us his aunties.
Yes.
Human aunties.
Mm-hmm.
He's adorable. As is his brother Franklin.
Yeah. Starseeds.
Hi, Juno. Welcome.
That's who you are. Hi. And so it goes on with knowledge, prayers.
You might want to put those up a little.
Oops, that's what I did. I knew that wasn't right. Much better. Much better. Makes a lot more sense.
There we go.
Yeah.
So what have we got for today?
Oh, well, we're talking about us or anybody else who's a starseed, which is most of you.
Certainly anybody that's watching is a starseed, more than likely.
Right. And the thing that's getting in the way, this is you, the thing that's holding you back is knowledge. Hello, Gypsy. And the knowledge that we're talking about is the knowledge that you've learned while you've been on Earth, from the time of being a baby on up. Okay?
That makes sense.
And so our souls are still offering prayers that will get rid of some of that stuff. Oh, let me move this up a little bit. That one's prayers.
I'm in the way.
That one's prayers. Okay. Okay. In the meantime, in our human bodies, we're all loving everything. We send out love all the time. Okay? And part of the problem with the knowledge that we have already, or the lack of knowledge that we have for a starseed, is they need a medium to help them see who they really are, or who they were. Because we are everything that we've lived through. No matter how many times we've lived, we are still who that is. And a medium can help with that.
I know we love this deck too. Isn't it beautiful?
And with that, we become immune to some of these knowledge things that we don't really need, so we can let them go. And so we have an immunity to those strifes that we had before. Sorry. So I will repeat it again briefly. Okay, you're a starseed. We have knowledge that we've learned, and also knowledge that we don't know anything about. So our souls are praying that we will learn who we are and what we do. In the meantime, and because we are starseeds, we're sending out love to the world, and we just keep doing that. We know that that's right, so we keep doing that. But what we're looking for is some mediumship, and that go to somebody who's a medium, or You can have readings, because often a lot of things come up in your readings. You can have past life regressions. You can have any of those. That's somebody who mediates for you. And when you do that, all this knowledge becomes either superfluous or you find out knowledge that you didn't know. And because of that, you have the immunity to those trying times that were there. Okay?
Cool.
Does that make sense for everybody?
Makes sense for me.
Okay.
Great.
So
So,
if we need help, go get it.
I believe in mediums.
Yes.
I love to go to mediums. Being a channel, I get a lot of information, but sometimes it's just fun to see what somebody else has to say about it all and maybe clarify some things that I don't understand. So I'm all about going to mediums.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about elementals and what are they exactly? And they are nature spirits, and they are related to the four elements: earth, water, fire, and air. The elementals are ancient beings that are here to take care of Mother Earth in particular, but also her children.
And good for you, Juno.
Oh, cool. That's great, Juno. I've heard about your gifts from other mediums online, so
That's great.
that's a great idea. Good for you. In the 5th century, Greek philosopher Empedocles wrote the Doctrine of the Four Elements. He divided the four elements into those associated with the four divinities, which was earth and Hera, air for Zeus, fire for Hades, and water was Persephone. He believed that the elements comprised not only the physical substance of all matter, but also the spiritual essences that quickened and animated all life forms.
Yeah. The universe, he believed, was comprised of two forces, love and strife. And they waxed and they waned in strength, both of them. Now, when love was the dominant force, then the four elements were balanced in a shared unity, a sphere of unity. So everything was great. But when they waned and strife became dominant, the sphere was broken and the elements were scattered. The single immortal soul of love was then divided into many parts, and each soul, that's what made up our souls, was the love and the strife. Each part of the shattered ends up being both love and strife. You're born and reborn into mortal bodies, and so you're formed from the four elements that she was speaking about.
Aren't we? We're all the four elements, and we're all full of love and strife.
That's true. That's true.
That's kind of the yin and the yang of it, isn't it?
Yeah. But even though strife remains dominant in the world here, its power too will wane. It's going to get weaker and weaker, and love will be on the rise again.
I think that's where we're headed right now,
I think
don't
that's
you?
what we're doing at the moment.
I think you had it right. Hi, warrior girl. Thanks for
And-
joining us.
The elemental spheres, it's going to be restored, and we're all going to be back into one again. That's what I'm saying. We are one. We're just all pieces of that one. We're just going to join back together.
Into oneness.
One.
Unity consciousness. I do love that. So the four elements have been used for thousands and thousands of years in all kinds of ceremonies, from the ancient Greeks to the North American Sweat Lodge, Chinese, Indian, Celts, Norse, Arabs. Man has been bringing earth, wind, and fire, earth, air, fire, and water together in ceremony for thousands of years. The Indians, the Navajos, believe the hiss of the water on hot stones sending steam up to fill up the dark of the lodge is said to represent a child's very first breath. Air, earth, water, and fire united as new life begins. Whew, that gave me chills.
In alchemy, The union of fire, which was masculine, and water, which is feminine, is one of the primary tasks of the art. It is only made possible through the mediation of the elements of air and earth. Alchemists sought to bring the elements together to perfect states of unity for sustaining health and our longevity and our spiritual growth.
And many systems of magical belief were rooted in the four elements, from witches to wizards to alchemists to enchanters. They all called upon the power of the elements for ceremony. Fire associated with passion, water, the emotions, earth, the body, and air, the mind and the imagination. They also sought to communicate with the magical spirits linked to each element.
And even in the symbology of tarot cards, we're still linked to all four of those, because each suit represents one of the elements. Coins are earth, cups are water, swords are air, and wands are fire.
Since the beginning of time, paganism and esoteric philosophy have sustained the existence of elementals, beings that coexist with us on an astral plane or a parallel dimension. Elementals are all related to earth elements: air, earth, water, and fire.
So let's look at the air. Those are sylphs, and they rule Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Even the astrology charts get into this.
Yeah.
Sylphs belong to the element of air. They work within the mental plane. They're here to clear out the negative or lower energy that humans may create or let in. And they're connecting us to a higher consciousness and of the source, which could be God or the divine or whichever you happen to believe in. And they're the guardian angels of animals. They often interact with our spirit animals and other guides to assist us in our journey. They soar through the sky, hiding in clouds, while being invisible to our eyes of mortals, and they're able to spread news, inspire art, give breath to all living creatures. They include the air spirits, flower fairies, spirit guides, Valkyries, and griffins.
Wow. And orbs. I think orbs are air spirits.
They would have said differently to you
I
if
think
it wasn't.
I think they are. Next are the earth elementals like gnomes, and that governs Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Gnomes belonged to the element of earth, a grounding force of nature, allowing humans to feel stable and secure. They embody the desire to work with physical matter. Gnomes, leprechauns, fairies, trolls, and elves all have special gifts for working with metal. They clear negative energies created by man, transforming the world and preserving the purity of nature. We have a fondness for the earth.
And
and griffins turn the wheel of fortune on the tarot card. That's right.
cool. And this is a picture of when we first started to hear from fairies. We had already set up some fairy buildings and things in the yard just because we liked them. And they came in to tell us how much they liked them.
So this is one of our little fairy setups in the garden.
And I have a story to tell you about Eli. Now, we put up, it looks like this standing up, but it's a little kind of like log bike. And we had it on a round table along with some other things. I just remember that one morning I went out and it was on the ground for some reason. I couldn't figure it out.
By the way, it was double
stuck down.
Double stick tape, a real thick outdoorsy double stick tape. We had him down.
Yeah. But he ended up on the ground. Later on, they came in and told us that one of the fairies, and of course, Franklin is the older brother, so he made sure that we knew it was Eli, was racing around on it, and he cut one of the corners too wide and didn't make it, so he ended up on the ground. And that's
the story they told us.
That's what they told us.
We met Eli and Franklin in 2020,
Yeah.
May of 2020. And they live in our garden with several other fairy entities.
They help take care of the insects and big monsters.
Iguanas.
Iguanas.
They help keep the iguanas out of the yard.
Yeah.
So, the next thing we have is undines.
Which is water. And they rule Cancer and Scorpio and Pisces.
I'm Scorpio, she's Pisces.
And it's, I hate to correct you. We looked it up before the show. Undines.
That's right, just to make sure we said it correctly.
Yeah. They're nymphs. They belong to the element of water. And they increase the ability to feel and to have access to love. Water elements were divided between the sea and freshwater. So the saltwater elements include mermaids and mermen, seal people, and sirens. Remember from fishing stories that we used to watch and listen to. And they were sirens. And then for the freshwater
They would call
elements,
sailors to their death. They would sing,
Right.
be
they'd
on the
sing
rocks
and they'd be
sing.
mesmerized and go right into the rocks.
Yep.
Yep. For the freshwater elementals, we find these in rivers and lakes and pools and fountains and bogs and marshes. And they include nixies and kelpies. They are all working to remove pollution that enters our earthly bodies of water, such as oceans and lakes. And since humans are made up of water, they also clear out nullifying emotions and anything our subconscious may still be hanging on to from the past. So they can help there. When we're not able to fully let the past go, an undine will help create a flow, such as crying, or to help you release your pain.
So it's their fault when we cry?
It may be, especially if we don't know why.
I hate to cry.
This allows the forward movement on our path until we're able to consciously let go of whatever it was that was hurting us.
So they help us let go.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Their
great.
element, which is water, is essential to all life, from plants to animals to humans. Water spirits increase the ability to feel and to love. And water is the supreme medium to transmit and amplify love.
Yeah, I think that's why we have such great vibes on this island with all the water around us.
Yeah, and that's probably why we feel so much better after we've been in the pool.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true. Yeah. So the next is fire. The salamanders, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius are all fire signs. They belong to the element of fire and are the energy of purification and change. Fire relates to the light that is inside all of us. I love that. That light inside all of us. Salamanders are protectors and igniters of our inner light, and they're concerned with keeping us from going completely dark. It's nice to know we have somebody, something trying to keep us from the dark side.
Well, it's like those little newts or whatever they are all over the yard.
Yeah, so we have salamanders everywhere. Everywhere. Well, not necessarily they're more like, they're lizards. They're not really salamander water. Aren't salamanders
no, salamanders
more?
are under. They're usually.
Anyway,
had some on the
we
farm
have
and
tons
they
of baby
would bury
lizards.
themselves down in the water under the window wells.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're also here to work with the collective for world peace. I like that too. When keeping our inner flame bright, we're spreading that light to thank you, geckos. I couldn't think of the word. That's
Thank you,
exactly
Dina.
what they are. They're all over the place down here. They are the inspiration and the spark that creates the manifestation of creative desires. So they encourage us to do creative things. I love that. Salamanders provide divine wisdom and a moral compass to those who call upon its fiery energy. Well, I like that. I call upon the sun a lot, so I do like the fire.
So how do we connect with the elementals, such as fairies and pixies, water sprites, mermaids, and unicorns? Well, first you got to believe in them. If you don't believe in them, they're never going to contact you. You need to open your heart to the possibilities that they're there. Show love and gratitude for nature. Care for the environment. Pick up your litter and don't use the chemicals on it. Talk to them silently or aloud. They love to communicate with us. And sing and dance. Let your inner child out. Have fun, because they love that. Ask them into your life. Ask them for help. And ask them what you can do for them.
Excuse me.
I was reading what Warrior Girl was saying. Okay. Fairies, leave gifts for them. They like sparkly things. They like sweet things. They like crystals. And, of course, they like music. So playing music while you're outside is great for them.
I must be a fairy because I like all those
things.
I love sparkly things.
Well,
I
they
love
do
sweets.
call us ants,
Oh, that's great. So don't forget to look for the signs if you're out there in your garden or in nature and you're talking to them. Look for their signs. There are divines, nature guardians residing here with us. I just love it. And although they live in a different realm, they are still sent here to safeguard the planet as well as us. And they're the reason we're so relaxed when we go out into nature.
Yeah.
It's their energies in nature that I think keep us relaxed, whether they're in the trees or the flowers or the bushes or the water. Oh, lucky Scotland.
I know, man.
Unicorns. We love fairies.
Oh, I'm actually 100% Scottish.
That's true.
On my mom's side.
So be sure and ask for the fairies to come into your life and then look for the signs that they're there. I'm sure you'll see them.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions in the chat room that you guys would like to have answered that we might be able to help you with? If not, that means it's card time.
Okay. I was going to say.
And we can draw cards for everybody.
Anybody who wants them. And I was going to say Eli and Franklin are not just the only ones that we know.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we do recharge our batteries in nature. I went there a lot, camping almost every other weekend so that I could recharge for going back to work. So I spent a lot of time there.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Oh,
Okay,
yay. Cards. Okay, let me get my pen out so I can do names. Gypsy, which card do you want? We get to numbers. And okay. Juno and Warrior Girl, you betcha. Well, give me which number first? Card you want drawn. I think it was Warrior Girl, then Gypsy.
First. Okay. Well, I got to think about them.
Warrior Girl first, and then Gypsy 7. Warrior Girl, give me a number. Juno, give me a number. Juno's 22.
Gypsy is...
Thank you, Warrior Girl. That's number 3, okay?
1, 2, 3.
Yep, she's first.
Gifted. Now, that's not a surprise. You actually are so much more gifted than you think. Well, lay them over so you can see them. You need to continue to look for your gifts. There are more.
Ooh.
And don't be afraid to study them and try new things. That's what I get from that.
Beautiful. I'm writing your card down just in case you all forget. Jules is number 11. Okay, first of all, we got Warrior Gypsy 7, Jules 11.
Gypsy is 7? All right, let me...
Hi, Jules. Thanks for joining us. You're doing Gypsy 7.
I like to think about who I'm shuffling the cards for.
Sure. Hugs at all of you guys. We're so happy to see you join us. It's wonderful.
Number 7.
Big hugs and lots of love to all of you for the weekend. Yay.
7.
Okay, this is for Gypsy.
Right. That's the card you got, is right.
Oh, WRITE.
Mm-hmm. And I think they're referring to your journaling You'll find that you know a lot more than you thought you did, that you're right a lot more times than you thought you were if you keep your journal.
Oh, interesting.
You're a lot stronger than you think. It's just making time. Even if it's just a little, just a little tiny thing that you keep in your
Pocket
or your
purse.
and just open up the page and you had a thought, write it down, put down the date, and in about a couple months go back and see if that makes sense to you. You might find you actually predicted something. I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm getting. You need to reassure yourself that you're right on track. Okay, and the journal is a good way.
Beautiful.
Okay, and
Okay, next is Juno, and she's number 22.
22. We learn if
Okay, I'll do it, Gypsy says. Thank you.
Great.
Aw, thank you, Bemuse Shaman.
Well, worthy. It flipped out, so that must be yours. Sorry, I'm out with 22, but since it came out, you are worthy of all the gifts that you have.
Lovely.
Quit putting them down and putting yourself down.
Sounding serious over here.
Yeah, I'm listening. You really need to believe in yourself, and you don't. Not where this is concerned. That you have skills that you don't recognize or acknowledge. You are worthy of those skills. It's okay to bring them forward and work on them.
Beautiful.
Okay?
She's taken the mediumship class, so that's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
Good girl, Juno.
Is there anybody else? If not, I'll get one.
Jules is 11.
Oh, Jules is 11. Okay, sorry about that.
One more. Oh, stick those back in.
No, those just popped. They weren't. If it's just one card, I know that's exactly what you're supposed to have.
Did that resonate, Juno? I hate to tell you, but
Rejuvenation. Time to take a break.
way to go, Juno. Good for you.
You're
She's
doing
saying
what you
thank
should
you, and she's taking a big leap,
Yeah, you're doing
and
what
her
you
words
need
are
to do.
right on. Yippee!
And we're very proud of you. Very good.
That's fantastic.
Rejuvenation popped through all by its little lonesome. So, I'm sorry about the number, but this is evidently the card that they wanted you to have. Let me think. You are wearing yourself out. You need to slow down and relax a little bit. And instead of worrying about everything on the outside world, you need to start worrying more about what's inside you. Take the time to look at yourself, know yourself, and be yourself.
Beautiful.
That's what I'm getting.
Hi, Liz.
Thank you all for coming.
Let's pull a card for Liz, because I see Liz here. How you doing, Liz? You want a card, don't you? Juno, I had a lifelong phobia of being out front. I had a lifelong phobia of standing in my truth and believing in myself.
Last thing she ever wanted to do was this show.
God, it's absolutely changed my life for the better. Absolutely changed my life. Gives me validation.
Liz, do you want her to pull a card for you?
You're welcome, warrior girl, and all you beautiful ladies out there.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
And gentlemen, if there are any. I do get you. I sure do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pull a card for Liz. I don't know if she's on here for long, but I'm going to pull
Liz
it
and
anyway.
everybody else.
Oh,
Liz?
okay. This
Just
is
Liz?
just Liz. This
Oh,
is for
okay.
Liz. Prayers. I got prayers for you, Ladybug.
Let's see.
You're welcome, Jules.
What you're wanting to do, you need to take an active force in it, not just prayers. Do. The prayers are helping, but you need to do.
Action.
Mm-hmm.
Time to take action.
Take some action on it.
Beautiful.
It'll go much better.
Lovely. We're glad you found us too, Juno, and we're glad we found you guys. Hi, Linda.
Yes.
Welcome to our channel. Okay, so let's pull a card for the day.
A card for
Excuse me, for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, for the weekend. Ah, it's wonderful you all know each other. That's great.
So interesting. Thanks for including us in your day. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
Ooh, let's see. I'm getting a buzz. Ooh.
It doesn't have to do with sex, guys. It actually has to do with the energy involved. And it's very, very high, and it makes communication easy. Yes, we do. We have
Fabulous
a great
little community. I agree.
I'm getting that everybody has the ability to communicate
Yes, Juno.
with everybody.
Tuesdays and Saturdays at 3 p.m. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right.
I just lost her.
We all have that ability. We just need to bring our frequencies up high enough that they can get low enough to reach us. You know, as we kind of meet them in the middle. But this really, sexuality has to do with your frequencies. So that's what they got. That's what I'm being told. So,
And creativity.
yeah, and creativity.
That's
Yes.
true.
Yes.
That's true.
So everybody, just keep working on getting your energies up and your frequencies up, and listen.
Oops. And listen. There we go.
And thank you all for being here. It's been wonderful.
I'll figure these buttons out one of these days. Sure are fun to play with, though.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'd love that you're adding our shows to your calendar. Because our calendar, if we're not on here, we're watching one of the other people out there. We love
Right.
it. It's so
Yes.
much fun. You
It
guys
is.
have a great rest of your weekend. Please like, subscribe, and share if you
That's right.
liked us. And share with all your friends.
Right. Thank you so much.
Next week is Akashic Records.
And have lots and lots of love.
Lots of love and light from both of us, and we'll see you again soon.
Right.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.